Now, the reason we're making this video in the first place is because when you read through the comments of many of our videos, there's some accusations that we're anti-Euro cars, which is simply not the case.
Not true.
My daily is technically a European car.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
No, we don't hate Euro. Not at all.
The thing is, you probably see more broken European cars than you do Japanese and Korean cars.
That is true. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because I deal with broken cars all the time, and statistically, more of the broken cars in my workshop are European manufacturers.
Now, that's not saying that they're worse quality. We just find they seem to be less resilient to Australian conditions. If you miss a service or two, things can go pear-shaped. Whereas if you miss a service or two on a Toyota or a Lexus or a lot of Japanese stuff or Korean stuff, it doesn't
They're more tolerant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that big a deal.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd just go through the European cars that we would personally buy.
Yeah.
Then we're not saying they're the best European cars.
No.
They're just the ones that we particularly like, and they're potentially ones that we would recommend for you to buy too.
Yeah, I would happily have any of the cars on this list.
We are sticking with European cars of European descent.
Yeah.
So
brands traditionally that were established originally in Europe.
Exactly, because if we were to go just to cars that are made just in Europe, well then obviously you could have a Hyundai i30N.
You could have a Honda Type R.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The flip side is cars like the Audi Q5 and a lot of BMW 3 Series and a whole bunch of Mercedes-Benz. They wouldn't be allowed to be in this list because most of those aren't actually made in Europe.
That's right.
So we are going with traditionally. I'm going to bend the rules.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions, but overarchingly, that's how we came to this.
Basically, they're European brands.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we go in size order? Let's go from small to large.
All right.
Okay. First of all, small cars, really small cars. My personal pick here is the Abarth 595 and 695.
Yeah, you love that thing.
I love that thing. Fun to drive, fun to look at. It's economical. It's easy to
They're
park.
fast.
They're properly quick.
I got properly tailed up by one of them. I was in my GA Yaris and we might have left a roundabout at the same time. It may have been, a quiet afternoon with not many cars around. That thing towed me. It just passed me like...
Yeah, properly quick.
Very quick.
Properly quick thing.
And the guy driving it was easily 70 something.
Amazing.
It was pretty cool.
Great.
Very cool.
Also, the thing that was a surprise about this, when we did the research, the more recent you go with a 595 or say 695 in this case, they're actually pretty reliable.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think because they've been running the same platform and engine package for a long time now, they've sorted out a lot of the issues. So this last generation of 695, before they've gone to this god-awful electric version, not anti-EVs, just not a fan.
That's another video. We're
That's
not
a whole
anti-EVs.
yeah, that's just not that particular one. But the more recent versions of that engine are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I'm a bit swayed by the whole Fiat 500 platform.
Yep.
Some of them are a bit shit. But overall, the Abarth, good thing.
Yeah, cool. What was your pick?
My choice was the Volkswagen Up GTI.
Technically, we don't get that here, but that's okay.
No, I know that, but it exists.
Yes.
In Europe,
Yep.
and as we were having this conversation earlier about why they didn't continue it in Australia, we think it's because of poor sales. Is that the reason?
From what I remember, the
No
Volkswagen
automatic?
Up, there was no automatic option for Australia, so that kills off 90% of your market, especially in the small car category.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason that they
Performance small car though, you wouldn't expect an auto, but maybe they could put a DSG in it. That would have been good.
Well, yeah, I think again from memory, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure the Up GTI was only manual.
Yeah.
As were the normal Ups.
As were a lot of first generation performance cars, like the GA Yaris, only manual, but now available in auto. So it makes sense.
Civic Type R, only manual.
Yep.
Whole different category.
Yep.
I rate that. I think. I wish we'd got it. I know Moog from Mighty Car Mods has built an Up GTI. Highly recommend watching that build series.
Good watch.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Great. But I agree. Up GTI. Funnily enough, and this is where we start bending the rules a little bit. My daily driver is the small European car that I would recommend, which is the Ford Fiesta ST.
Yeah.
It's mainly...
Not the current.
No, not a Mark 8, I've got a Mark 7. So, this is why it's European. That was Ford UK's brainchild. It's made in Germany. Yeah, Ford's technically an American company originally, but I think that's European enough.
Yeah.
So, I Fiesta ST for me.
Yeah.
Because I have one.
Because it's an American car made in Germany.
Exactly. But American car made in Germany, thought up by the Poms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Totally European.
Yep. Medium cars?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
My medium car here is F31 BMW wagon. I'm a family guy. I've got kids. I like the look of them. It's a medium car. It's not an SUV. I would happily have one of those.
Yeah.
They look great.
This current range of engines seem to be, it's the new B series stuff.
Yeah, they only make them in 4-cylinder though. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't have any fast engine options, but cool car.
I think, but it seems so far seems to be.
Yeah.
We've got G series, 3 series. That's hard to say. G series, 3 series coming up soon. So we'll do the deep dive on reliability on those. My pick, no surprise here, Alfa Romeo Giulia Veloce. I adore this car.
Yeah.
I know you're still not a massive fan. I know. Look,
They're
yes,
okay. Look, reliability, way better than most people. Way better than the internet would have you believe.
Surprisingly reliable. Yes, electrical issues. That's a thing. But they seem to be solvable.
Yeah.
But what a spectacular car.
They do look good.
I would have one of those in a heartbeat. Well, pricing, $40,000 to $80,000. So you're looking at kind of Camry money.
Yeah.
It's a lot more exciting than a Camry. I love that car. I'm just surprised at how good the reliability was.
Yeah, it is surprising.
Yeah. Also, I think Alfa Romeo may have topped the JD Power Reliability Survey. Granted, there's caveats to that.
Yeah. But even if they're in the top half of that reliability survey, that's pretty good going.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. The numbers don't lie.
No. When it comes to large, I think we just put like kind of larger luxury cars together here. What European large luxury vehicle would you buy? Not SUV, has to be a car.
A car, it's slim pickings because there is not a lot to choose from. So I went old school here. I went way back to the old E39 540i.
Awesome.
Yeah. Or even better still, the M5 version of which has got the
one of the sexiest cars of all time.
Pretty cool car. But I really struggled to find something more current that was a car that I would choose.
Yeah.
That they look great, they sound great. They're actually not too bad. They're reliability-wise of their time, they're pretty good for what they are. Yeah.
I think as far as working on them now, I think parts are still available. Because BMW have such a huge fan base, it seems that if you need bits and pieces, they are out there to get.
Yeah. And there's plenty of options for aftermarket stuff for them as well. Yep. Pretty cool old car.
I agree with Jim. There were very few European large cars that I would ever go near or ever recommend because of depreciation, because of cost of parts, because of just... If you find one that has had an owner that has looked after it fastidiously, fantastic, great, but how do you know that? That's the thing. The risk is we're looking at a car that has 2 or 3 or 4 previous owners. Do you know every single one of those owners have ticked every particular maintenance box? But my pick is the W140 series Mercedes-Benz S-Class. This for me is peak S-Class, okay? Yeah. I think, even from a cool factor, I think this is way cooler. Actually, I'm going to go as far as saying W140 and older. That is a cooler car than any modern S-Class. If you rock up to the front of a hotel or a club or a restaurant in some classic old school S-Class versus yet another brand new one, I rate these.
It would turn heads.
100%. Also, less electronics, so less to go wrong, good support network. They're built like tanks. This is Mercedes-Benz at their absolute peak when they were over-engineered, just solid tanks of cars.
This is funny how we also made these lists independently of each other. So it's just funny how in that category we've both gone for something old.
Yeah. Also, just on mine, W140. So I looked into this. The pricing, you can get these from say $20,000, like $40,000 will get you a properly mint condition one. That's $40,000, right? Yeah. Versus a new S-Class, which is north of $250,000 here in Australia.
Unless you buy it when it's 12 months old, then I think they're like 13 or 14 grand or something.
It drops $200,000 in
They do depreciate.
But honestly, even a previous generation, you're still going to be looking at over $100,000. Yeah. So let's say you get a really schmick one for $40,000. You're still saving yourself $60,000. Yeah. So you've got $60,000 to play with for potential maintenance, which you might not need buying a really, really super schmick one.
It's been looked after, yeah.
And also, if you want technology and if you want all the latest mod cons, just fit it with aftermarket gear. Imagine having sorry to interrupt. Imagine having like an old school W140 and you've got Apple CarPlay or Android Auto hidden somewhere. Yep. You've put more sound deadening in it. You've got brand new speakers.
That's what I was going to say. How much technology do you actually need? Exactly. It's really just the connectivity to your device.
Yep.
You don't, in a car like that, you may or may not need all the safety features depending on how you drive. But how much do you really need?
Yeah,
come on. You need cup holders, you need air conditioning, and a decent stereo. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to rant on about the W140, but I think it's a great car and I would 100% buy one.
Now, if you're looking to buy any of these cars and if you're looking at finance, hit the driver link below.
Yeah, Driver will find you the very best possible finance from stacks of different lenders. The entire process is done online. It's easy, it's free, it's going to have no impact on your credit score, and you can get pre-approval in no time. Massive category, small SUVs. What are we thinking? What do we got?
Here's the thing. This is the category I struggled with the most, and I kind of glossed over it, to be honest with you, because I also the difference between the small SUV, medium SUV, and large SUV. I don't know how you categorise them anymore.
You know what it is? It's become the same as music, where music is just such a mishmash of genres. When you have people saying, "Oh, I really like screamo, but I hate emo."
Yeah.
Or I like post-punk, but I hate post-pop punk.
Yeah, too hard.
It's like saying I love blue, but I hate navy blue. So I feel like it's the same with the.
That's actually reasonable. Yeah. I hate navy blue.
It's like the same as small, medium, and large SUVs. What is a small SUV now? How small does it have to be small versus medium? Anyway, you want my picks?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. First one is the Mini Countryman John Cooper Works, because it's a BMW underneath. And again, that power plant seems to be so far so good. Mm-hmm. I think, at least with the Mini, you've got some level of charisma and character to it. I've driven one and it was great to drive. Mm-hmm. There's a stack of different options on it. They depreciate like crazy, so you can pick up a bargain on the used market. Like, you can get one for half the cost of a brand new one. I think it's a good thing. Yeah,
if you put it in those sort of terms, they're not a bad thing. I do always struggle with that particular brand, the whole Mini lineup. I understand some people love them. I just don't get it. But I know there are other cars I would get.
I'm a bit of a wanker like that.
Yeah, no, it's not about that. I think they're leveraging the Mini brand from forever ago, and I don't think it's working anymore. That's just my opinion.
I've never really looked into their sales figures. I should see if they're pumping along with sales. I think they're for wankers like me. I think they're for people like I'm serious. I would buy one because I buy into a lot of the aesthetic stuff. Like I spent weeks researching what backpack to buy because it had to fit a whole bunch of different criteria.
Yeah, it had to fit your lifestyle.
It had to fit my lifestyle. Had to speak to me on a deeper level than just another backpack.
How many backpacks have you got?
Oh, way too many.
It's frightening. I've got a lot too. It's terrible.
But Mini Countryman John Cooper Works, I think can be a good thing. 35 to like $50,000, pretty good thing. And the other one that I personally went for was the Volkswagen T-Roc R, basically because that is a Golf R, slightly jacked up. And I think that's a good combination. If you put some money aside for the inevitable water pump failure and a few other bits and pieces, I think that's a cracking thing. It's not the most entertaining drive because the steering's a bit flat. It's bloody fast, but
yeah. Look, I totally get the car because I went in the category up, the medium SUVs. Tiguan R was my choice. Yeah. Weirdly though, the Tiguan R I like the look of, but I prefer an RSQ3 because they've got the 5-cylinder engine in it.
Yeah.
I want that engine in a Tiguan R.
Yeah,
because I think just a better looking car.
Yeah. I think, and also I'm pretty sure the Tiguan's slightly bigger than a Q3 RS. What's it called again?
RSQ3.
RSQ3. Yeah, whatever.
And Macan, Porsche Macan is in that category as well.
Yeah,
that's
pretty special.
Tiguan. They're all
how is it? I remember going from a Tiguan into a Macan, and which are kind of fundamentally very, very similar. But the Porsche, there's something about, I don't know, the calibration with the steering and the suspension. Maybe they just spend a few thousand more hours calibrating this stuff. Does it just feel?
I'm reasonably certain the Porsche's got a totally different gearbox and driveline in it.
Okay.
I vaguely know that. I just need to confirm that. Please, fact check fact check it and put it in the comments because
well,
I'm fairly certain they're very different.
Depends on the specific model, Macan specific model, the Sigma one. But yeah, I think I know every Macan I've driven, there's something. There's this weird Porsche do this thing. It's like black magic where they somehow inject this sense of higher quality to everything. All the control surfaces, the feeling you get through the seat of your pants. The pedal feel, everything. It just there's something about them.
It's definitely the winner in that category for me.
Well, but
let's hear your choice, Adam.
Mine's surprise, Alfa Romeo Stelvio Veloce.
Oh my!
I know.
Would you look at that?
I've actually never driven one. I'm just going on the basis that the Giulia blew my mind, and this is just kind of a jacked up wagon.
It's got to be as good because it's. Same.
I think it might even be more reliable because this is the car that is responsible for the JD Power results.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I think we've got one. Oh, we actually haven't organised it yet, but we need a Stelvio Veloce for a video, and we're going to do the deep dive on it. But I think that's my pick.
Yeah.
Can I throw my controversial one in?
Yeah, go on.
Again, it's not technically European, but it's Ford Europe developed it. It's made in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ford Escape in the top specs, so titanium, ST line, and Vignale. I don't know how to pronounce it. Vignale. So I think this is a hugely underrated car. You've got to go the 2-litre turbo with the all-wheel drive. Don't buy the diesels are terrible.
Yep.
Really reliable, affordable parts, super underrated, dropped in price immensely. They look good. They drive great.
Yeah.
They've got great amount of features. But the big one is the pricing because you can get one of these from $17,000 up to about 45 grand. Because no one bought them, they've just plummeted in value.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not going to retain that value either.
That
so
also is a red flag as to why you wouldn't buy one because no one bought them and there's less support traditionally for that type of car. But it makes the list. That's fine.
And that engine, that 2-litre turbo engine, that's been around for
fine.
so long. It's in the Focus ST. Yeah. So really, I think a super underrated car.
Agreed.
And no one's going to go and buy it, even though we've recommended it.
No
one's going to buy it. No. Okay, let's go move up large SUV category here. What are we thinking, mate?
My choice of this, there's a lot in this category. I like the Ineos Grenadier.
Yes.
I don't know about the long-term prospects of that though. I know they've come in hot and they're getting a share of the market, which is great. I hope they can keep that momentum going, and I hope they can sell 1 million cars because fundamentally it's a cool thing. I like them. I also have RSQ8 on my list here because I just think they look really good.
You're a fan of that car, aren't you?
I am. Stupid car.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You don't need to go that fast in a car like this, but if you have to have a large SUV, I think it's as good as any. It's fast. It looks good.
We might have a Q8 coming soon on the channel. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see if the reliability is any better than, say, an A6. Because it's pretty similar.
Very.
There's a lot of similar parts there. So I'm intrigued to see if it's any better. But I agree. I think it's a cool looking thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Does it have to be? It has to be the RSQ8, but it has to be the full fat.
Yeah.
My pick, I also back up Ineos Grenadier. Still a lot of question marks, but I just think fundamentally what that thing is about, I really
technically
support.
also, it's not really an SUV, is it? It's really a full drive, but still.
I just think if you're gonna go, hey, I want a big SUV here, make it look like it's ready for an apocalypse.
Yeah, and true. Most people are just going to use it for the SUV lifestyle anyway. So let's call it an SUV.
There's a few. It's funny. There's a few where I live. There's quite a few around, and most of them are generally covered in mud. Like
that's an option you can get from the dealership. The mud option.
It's a canned mud.
It's actually a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who his dad has one and raves about it. And this is someone that's been a Land Rover tragic.
Yeah.
Probably an appropriate word for that.
I don't know if anyone knows much about these cars, but you get in them and they're very rugged and very Ineos Grenadier-y, if you know what I mean. The BMW shifter.
Yeah.
Seriously, what? Just they've spent all this time and money on every other aesthetic and making it look rugged, but they've just put in the standard BMW shifter. It looks terrible.
I saw an interview, I saw a video, I don't know if it was Henry Catchpole or who it was, but they were saying the cost purely to re-engineer that shifter and meet the rules for like safety and things like that, it was millions of dollars just to make a new...
But you've come this far.
I know.
Like, you've come this far.
I know. It is weird. It's funny. You look at the interior of that car and it's all straight lines and it's all very rugged. And then you look at this kind of architecturally.
Yeah, it's immediately recognisable. If anyone who's ever been in a modern BMW, you go, what the?
Yeah. It's like a bad piece of jewellery.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit the rest of the outfit at all.
One too many accessories.
Yeah.
Just take that one off.
It's the fashion rule. Always remove something.
Yeah.
Put everything on, then take something off.
They should have fixed that. Anyway.
And also, I think the Porsche Cayenne GTS, specifically the GTS, for me that has always been the sweet spot of the Cayenne range. I don't care which generation of Cayenne you're looking at. The thing is with these, you can get a Cayenne GTS from as little as $30,000.
Yeah.
And I argue that if you bought a $30,000 Cayenne GTS and had $20,000 put aside, and you with every intention to use that $20,000, I think you've got a cracking large SUV. You're definitely going to be digging into that 20 grand at some point.
Well, they have their list of common problems, no doubt, but overall, the amount of depreciation makes them affordable.
Yeah.
So as you said, if you keep a bit of money aside, you'll be able to fix it and keep it going.
On the used market at the moment, the pricing for a Cayenne GTS ranges anywhere currently from from $30,000 to about $240,000.
Yeah, wow.
There's a lot to choose from there, and they are a pretty incredible bit of gear. But you need to have at least $20,000.
Have you noticed nearly everything on our list is the fast or sporty variant of all of these cars? There's not a standard version of any car on this list.
But but here's the thing: if you're going to sign up to the risks that can come with Euro, and we're talking about the cost of parts, cost of maintenance, the fact that if it hasn't been maintained correctly, then you can have some
the known things about Euro ownership.
Okay, if you're going to sign up to that, well then you want the maximum bang for your buck out of what your purchase is. So when it does work, you want it to be as thrilling as possible, and it has to tick as many of those tactile boxes as you possibly can.
And we're also talking about these are all second-hand cars.
Yeah.
You know, that's important to mention as
Absolutely,
well.
Yep.
Now, all of these cars we've mentioned, the good ones and the bad ones, they all need wipers too, and there's really no need to cheap out.
Yeah, exactly. If you hit the Wipertech link below, you're going to get 15% off and free express shipping on some of the best wiper blades we've ever used. We genuinely use them on all of our cars. Plus, they're easy to order online, they're easy to fit, and they wipe bloody brilliantly. Hit the Wipertech link down there. Now, performance cars.
Yeah, interesting. You go.
Okay, there's a bunch here. I would do very bad things for a BMW M2, especially the competition.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with the previous non-competition M2. I'm talking about not the brand new one, that ugly thing, the previous one.
Yeah.
Previous M2 and M2 comp.
Great car.
What a car. Oh my
Is that
God.
peak M car?
Yeah.
You know, when you draw a graph, have it like affordability, practicality, performance, it's got to be the sweet spot, right?
It's an incredible car. The one we filmed, I did not want to hand back. That was my period with that car was very, very special. That wasn't a comp. That was just a standard. That was like one of the really early M2s. And it was not with the gearbox I wanted. And I still loved it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine with a manual gearbox and a few nice little tasty mods here and there.
Yeah.
Thomas from Throttle House, he had an M2 and off camera just raved about how wonderful that car is.
And rightly so, good car.
Also, if you can't quite afford an M2, BMW M140i.
Yeah.
Fantastic car.
Yeah, poor man's M2.
But more practical. It's a hatchback, 5-door hatch. I think the M140i, every time I see an M140i on the road, I'm like,
yeah.
Nice. Well
Good
done.
choice. Yeah. Well played, BMW.
And the other European performance car I'd go with, and this is performance car with a massive, goodbye any levels of practicality.
Yeah.
Lotus Elise and Lotus Exige.
Toyota motor.
Just saying, Toyota engines, Toyota power plants.
Cool
if
car.
you've never driven an Elise or an Exige and you're a car person, find a way to do it.
Yeah.
They're spectacular, spectacular cars.
Great fun.
I've got a great history with Lotus. Boys at Simply Sports Cars in Sydney. G'day, Richard.
Yeah.
Fantastic people to work with. Excellent cars.
I've had a few stoushes with them on track as well. They're super fun track cars, yeah.
You know what I think what's great about a Lotus Elise, especially an Elise, when you see an Elise driving, you just know that person is all about the driving experience.
Yeah.
They're happy to deal with a lack of comfort. They're happy to deal with a lack of practicality.
Yeah.
There's no wank. There's no pretense about a Lotus Elise. It's just like, I'm here for the driving enjoyment.
100%, because they're a pain in the ass to live with.
Okay. my partner might agree with you on that. I was lucky enough to have an Elise as a press car for a long time, like I think it was like 6 months or something. And I adored every second of it. My partner not as much. The getting in and out with the roof on is
very close to the ground.
Challenge.
Yeah,
Big sills. I would love one.
Yeah.
I think, would you go series? My dream is a Series 1 Elise, but with maybe a K-swap, or a Series 1 Elise with the Series 2 supercharged Toyota engine.
That would be very cool.
That'd be cool. Or the Exige is also incredible.
Yeah.
What's your pick?
I got a couple on here. And maybe it's because it's a wagon. I have children. G81 M3 competition.
Yeah, touring.
Yeah. What a car!
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah,
but it comes with all the competition fruit on it. It's a wagon,
which makes it cool.
It makes it cool.
Makes it super cool.
I just think it's a good all-round car.
Yeah, it's if you had to have one, if you had a couple $100,000 to spend and could only ever have one car that needed to do it all,
eye-wateringly expensive.
Like
really, when you think about it, but
bucks.
it's just cool because it's a wagon. I don't know. It's weird. The other thing is, if this is a money no issue,
You know what? Let's do money no object as its own. I know we didn't plan this. Let's do like supercar, stupid money, because we never talk about supercars.
That's the car I just said. Supercar, stupid money.
Amazing that a $200,000 car isn't in that category.
It doesn't count because it's a station wagon. It's a family car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's a family car.
Let's do that. Let's do supercars and that kind of, or not supercars, but let's do the really high
Top
echelon
end
stuff, because we never talk about that stuff.
No.
Generally speaking, supercars do absolutely nothing.
What do you
for
choose?
me.
It's European. It's got to be European descent.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Money no object. Practicality irrelevant.
I absolutely adore 997 GT3.
Yeah,
Dot
cool.
1.
Yeah.
I think that I just in white with the slightly dark. I think it's called anthracite grey wheels.
Yeah,
with
absolute
the
classic. Yeah.
Club Sport packs with the single piece.
Very cool.
Carbon
How much
seats.
are they?
Oh, they're like minimum 250.
All of the millions of dollars.
Minimum 250.
Yeah.
Like a good one's 300 grand.
I thought they were more than that, but okay. Well, that seems reasonable.
Yeah. I think I'll have to look that up. But that's
Because similar to me, I've got the 992 GT3 RS.
Nice.
That is just to me like they just look great.
Yeah, special thing.
Super fast, super special.
What about
what a car?
Let's go bananas here. Let's go supercar world.
Right.
Is there anything, or not even necessarily supercar, but just like the really? Let's go. You've got to spend 450 grand or above.
Oh God. Can I buy a Koenigsegg?
Yes.
Okay.
You go,
Any Koenigsegg.
It doesn't matter which one. Yeah,
it doesn't matter which one.
Wild. Yeah,
Who makes or Pagani?
Zonda Cinque would be.
Aren't they like $7 million or something
crazy.
stupid?
Sam, our illustrious offsider, the genius behind the camera, his is the Lamborghini Gallardo, but it has to be manual and has to be in silver.
Yeah.
And I rate that.
That's
I
a cool
think
choice.
That's a really cool way to go. Can I just say, I think if you're going to buy a supercar, like my pick is, I love the Murcielago, but it has to be in Nardo grey or it has to be in a really flat colour. My argument here with really extroverted designs is that have them in super understated colours. Because when it's such an extroverted design, it doesn't need to be fluorescent green. We get it, right? The design itself is bananas.
Yeah.
I like the idea of going, here's this crazy design, but we're trying to play it down.
Yeah, have it in stealth mode. It's pretty cool, yeah.
The other one I'd go with is a Ferrari 550 Maranello in silver with it's almost like a Shiraz red interior. It's like a deep, rich red. And with a bit of patina, like a bit of cracking in the leather and stuff. Yeah, cool. I do love a 550 Maranello.
Yeah.
And I like the 550 over the 575.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Good choice.
Testarossa is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then also like a Daytona is really nice, like an early Daytona.
How big's the garage?
I know.
It's another video.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think they're the Euro ones I reckon you should
There you have it. For those of you that say we hate Euro, bunch of Euro we love.
I forgot one.
What?
I forgot a classic.
What?
And it ticks off. It's a medium car. It's a performance car. It's a fast wagon, so it's unbelievably cool. Cooler than most things.
What?
Skoda Octavia RS.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
How did I
That
forget
ticks a
that?
lot of boxes too because it's affordable.
Get the one with the manual gearbox and the diff, which
Yeah.
I think is that 2, 3, 4.
Hang on, what category does this go in?
Well, it goes in medium car, it goes in performance car.
Okay, all right.
It goes in coolest car of all time, fast wagon.
If I race you in my Tiguan R or my RSQ3, I'll probably beat you.
I don't care.
Okay, that's
Straight line speed is for boring people. When it comes to corners and having some fun,
Yeah.
I reckon like that. I've got a neighbour across the road has exactly this car in black.
Yeah.
And he's come from a history of some pretty fast cars, and this is the only one that he's kept for some time. And I think for what they cost, have a few grand set aside. Water pump's going to go for sure. Thermostat housing, engine bay plastics.
All
You're going to
the
have all the
Volkswagen
typical
things.
Volkswagen issues, but that's a fantastic car. I can't believe I nearly forgot the Skoda. And it's a Skoda, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Skodas are cooler than Volkswagens and Audis.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it's
I did not know that.
It's a known fact. It's the underdog.
I know owners of Skodas think they're cooler than Volkswagen.
They're going to think I'm sucking up to them, but that for me is still the Skoda owners groups are still. They might be the pick.
Helpful, yeah.
They might be the absolute pinnacle
Yeah.
of owners groups. I've never come across
agree.
a more helpful. It's funny that a car that has no pretense doesn't have pretentious owners.
Funny about that.
There are some really good owners groups out there, but Skoda people are good people. Because they get it. They get it. They're not buying into all the marketing bullshit. They just go, that ticks so many boxes.
Anyway, we're rambling. So for all the haters out there that said we hate Euro,
Exactly.
there's our list.
Sorry. Octavia RS wagon is my backpacking car form.
Okay.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
They're great. How did I forget that on the list? I feel like
You should buy one.
I'd love to. I'd love to get one. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed the Euro cars that you should buy. We really should do a Euro cars that you should avoid at all costs.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's shoot it after this. It's not like we
Already prepared it or anything.
it might have already been prepared. Check it out. The Euro cars that you should avoid at all costs. And hopefully my beard scratching the microphone doesn't get too annoying for everyone. I've done it like 12 times.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.